And to really illustrate the impact this role has on practices, we have a case study from a practice we worked with last year that hired this exact role. And within 6 months, we're able to reach 300% more people, getting over 20% more leads, and spending 25% less on social media. Welcome to Success Confidentials.
If you're a healthcare visionary obsessed with patient experience, team culture, marketing, and growth, you're in the right place.
We are too. We're Lauren
and Christine,
the patient whisperers. We worked together for 4 years as leaders in a real premium practice.
We did not play in the traditional healthcare sandbox and believe human emotions drive all success, and it really, really worked. We grew our cash pay practice an average 60% year over year.
And on social media, we grew our followers from 1,000 to 14,000 in just 2 years, generating millions in annual revenue from social media alone.
So now we're out here sharing what made us wildly successful so you can be too.
Let's have some fun.
And let's dive in. Welcome back to another episode of Success Confidentials. Today we're having a conversation with you guys that we have all the time with practices who are ready to grow, ready to take their brand to the next level. And it's a conversation around marketing and social media and who is the doer, who handles all the things for the practice. Mm-hmm. The practice owner a lot of times is trying to juggle running marketing and growth on top of running their practice, or maybe it's the office manager or the administrator, and it ends up just being this additional hat that people wear when it really needs to be a role and something that someone lives, eats, breathes, and is very passionate about. If you want crazy big results, if you're really serious about growth, it can't be a task that someone adds to their to-do list.
And that's actually what we did most last year, is helping practices hire, onboard, and train this marketing social media person because it's so new in the healthcare industry. Most
practices we work with have never had a dedicated marketing person, especially if you're not a huge practice. And so they're kind of like, where do we start? You know, what do we look for? Is it really worth it to add these payroll dollars to our practice budget? And hands down, it is worth it. And the exciting thing is when we go through our program with a practice and we make it very easy. We take out all the guesswork. We go, okay, here's the kind of person that from a skills standpoint will be successful handling this for you. You know, from a culture standpoint, the kind of human you want to hire, but we help with the other part, like what skills do they need to possess? How do we measure if they're good at what they do or not? It just feels really daunting if you don't have a path and a plan, which we love helping and providing. And now that's all virtual in Upskillery, so it's super easy to access. But then also, what all are they going to do that's going to justify this additional spend for our practice? That's another question people ask.
And we get it. We were in your shoes whenever we were in practice. Whenever Christine joined the practice, there was no marketing person at all in the practice.
No, there was no one in charge of marketing. That was not a role. The administrator kind of handled a few things. The practice owner, the surgeon, he dabbled in, helping get things done or make decisions. And so my role ended up kind of absorbing all of marketing and all of social media and then all of patient experience and just, you know how it is. You wear a million hats. And it was really made a huge difference when I took the reins because I had a background in marketing. And so I knew what I was doing. And in 6 months, we grew by 97% because I had a plan, I had goals, I had a way to achieve those goals, and it was my job. It was my baby.
You had that passion that you were talking about.
Yes, I was measured by growth and the success that came with marketing and creating a reputation that was really unmatched. And I know when I think back to practices we've helped this year, there's kind of been there's a trend industry-wide in hiring for this role in 2025. People are realizing we for sure need someone to handle marketing, but also social media, that element of social media, organic, in-person, in-the-moment content. And so I can think of several practices this year where they came to us and they're like, okay, I guess we need to add this role. They were kind of skeptical still. Found the right person, trained, hired them. They're rolling, and they've since come back in our check-ins just blown away by the impact that this role has made in their practice. And every single one of them saying, hands down, this is the best hire we made this year. It's absolutely the best ROI for any new position we've created.
And actually, the role of a social media coordinator was listed in Forbes as one of the top 10 jobs in marketing for 2024.
And that's one of the hangups I think sometimes practices have is they're like, I don't know if I need a whole person just to run social media, because they haven't seen the ROI yet. They haven't seen the return. So it's kind of a little uncomfortable. And that, I think, has been one of the biggest trends we saw last year was hiring someone for not just social media, but saying, okay, we're going to bring on a full-time person and they're going to be all things marketing and social media. And for a small practice, that can work really well for a long time. And then you grow so much, you're going to need more. But until then, it's a great place to start. And the practices we've worked with have been really, I think, pleasantly surprised by how much this person was able to take off of their plate as a practice owner and admin. There's a lot that you can give this person that they can take and run with it, and it frees you up to do the things that you need to be doing.
And another structure that we've seen work is starting off with just a part-time employee. Maybe they work 10 to 15 hours a week at home and come into the practice to capture content, but do their editing and other responsibilities, like I said, at home. And it works great. And they have weekly check-ins with the team to make sure that they have everything they need to be successful.
And that can work well, too, if your practice is short on office space. I know a lot of practices don't have a lot of administrative space because it's all really patient-facing. So that can be another benefit of that hybrid model where this person comes in to get content, but they don't really need a desk area. They don't need a station, because then they're doing all the busy work or editing or things like that from home.
And as a social media girly, it is nice to be able to just put your headphones in and sit down and edit rather than being distracted.
Essentially, if you think of it as the difference between something really important in your business being 101 on someone's to-do list or the number one thing on someone's to-do list. Growth is so important. Marketing is so important if you're wanting to expand, if you're wanting to reach new heights. It's the difference between posting a social media video and it's good enough and you got it done and you're just proud you did it and you get a couple hundred views versus someone who is crafting a social media reel that is strategic, and they've looked at what works and what doesn't, and they've done research and they're on trend and it goes viral and shows up to 30,000 people. That's the difference, right? You don't get that from someone who has 500 other things to do today and also get out a post on social media.
And to really illustrate the impact this role has on practices, we have a case study from a practice we worked with last year that hired this exact role. And within 6 months, we're able to reach 300% more people, getting over 20% more leads, and spending 25% less on social media. So this person more than pays for themselves.
So if you're at that point and you know you need to grow and you want to add, you think you're ready to add a marketing/social media person in your practice, don't worry. We have the entire program outlined in Upskillery that we wish we would have had back in the day. Everything from the job listing you can run, the interview questions to ask, how to screen your applicants, how to give them an exercise to see their chops, see their skills, how to measure that exercise, how to bring them on, what is their first week of onboarding, how do you prepare them for success, and then their entire training program is in Upskillery to be mentored by us so you can have a superstar hit the ground running in your practice.
If we can help you with anything related to today's topic, use the link to schedule a free 30-minute synergy session just for new practices.
For our existing practice clients, you already know where to find us.
Now we want to hear from you. What resonated? What other topics are hot for you right now? We want to know all about it in the comments.
We're just a comment away, so if you have any questions, we personally respond to all comments and DMs. If you're not subscribed yet, make it easy on yourself to see new episodes and reference topics that are helpful by hitting the subscribe button.